Hello everyone, my name is the Philosopher Johnson and welcome to The Wake Up Call. Before I begin, I would like to give you a little context about the show. First, The Wake Up Call is more than a show, it is a movement. Second, so as to express and convey the necessary information in a step-by-step process, I will read the information to you, for the essence of this show is to educate. Third, I will be the example of how it is possible for the one who should choose. He or she would know that depression, darkness, and defeat does not have victory over you. Moving along. The intended purpose of today's show is to introduce you to myself and to the aim and essence of the show itself. The message will be received only by those who, through an individual or collective effort, desire to overcome the pitfalls of life that will ultimately cause one to become lost into disparity. There is no text on how to live life, and there is not any one single approach alone that is known or given to any individual at the outset of their life. However, if the individual could first embrace the idea and or concept that everything happens in stages and that nothing happens all of a sudden, then just maybe this thought process will give you an opportunity to understand knowledge and apply it correctly, that you may become wise. For how shall any individual turn away and or stop being foolish except that he or she would arouse within him or herself a voice of reprimand that will cause change in your conduct and an awareness that life shall hold you accountable for your own actions. I remember a time, it was December of 2011, and I was in prison serving a 12-year sentence. I received word that my grandmother, who was 90 years old at the time, was terminally ill with cancer. I fell into a deep depression that led me into a downhill spiral. I had to be placed into disciplinary confinement because my actions had become harmful to myself and to others. To make a long story short, I was placed on suicide watch. I didn't eat or do anything else for 3 days. I laid on the floor, on a thin mattress, a shroud, and a blanket. Nothing else. And you can scratch your imagination when I say nothing else. Afterwards, I received word that my grandma had passed. I cried and cried, and little by little, something within me started to stir. Eventually, I was moved to another facility, and for 6 days straight, I cried and cried. And paced the floor. I talked to myself, and that something within me got stronger and stronger. And it said, get up, get up. And I examined myself very deeply at that moment. I overcame that moment because I had reached a place so dark and alone that God's Spirit spoke to me, to my spirit, and ignited a fire that caused me to become alive or awakened by its divine essence. The point is that a lot of people have entered a place so dark that only divine light itself can cause you to find your path so that you could now consciously put forth the effort to change the direction of your life. Life is a journey, and one should not expect to attain total achievement so fast. For the accomplishment of this feat takes a lifetime of watchfulness. One may trip, stumble, and or fall more than once or twice. But the fact is that you have to get up, cry, talk to the Lord, talk to yourself. Whatever you have to do, just get up. This message is specifically intended to reach those who would consciously put forth the necessary effort to effect change in their life. I am here to tell you that the hardships, which are like fire, is meant to burn away the impurities from your soul and not to totally consume you. Now, for the sake of enlightenment, there is one quick illustration that I will give you for now, which corresponds to the cultivation of the mind. Say, for instance, if you wanted to plant a garden in your yard, what is the first step in the process that you would have to do? First, you would have to till the soil, meaning you would have to dig up the roots. Do away with those weeds and things that were unnecessary, that would be unnecessary for the planting of the seeds. We need soft soil. We need the soil to receive the seeds that we are going to plant. Then we will plant the seeds. Then we still must be watchful for pests and other varmints that could prevent the seed from growing. The mind. As a man thinketh, so is he. Therefore, if we are going to introduce new information in our lives, that the outcome would be different in our lives. We have to remove those things that are no longer necessary, habits, desires, passion, lusts, that are not consistent with the present goal that we have set for ourselves. So this means that first you have to acknowledge that, hey, there's something that I need to change. Because if I do not change this or that, I would not be able to accomplish this goal that I have set for myself. So we have to be mindful of the people we surround ourselves with. People, places, and things must change. Codependency, relationships, that the partner don't want to get on the same page as you, we have to get rid of those things. Love is a great spiritual attribute, but let us not confuse love with I'm too weak to acknowledge that you're bad for me. Now, I said that because I feared a lot. I've been through those things myself. I've been through a lot of things myself. So, like I say, when I point the finger at you, if I look at my hand, I got 3 of them pointed at myself. So I must examine myself. I am here to examine myself in such a way that each individual who views this could see that, hey, if I examine myself in that manner, or even a deeper manner, maybe I could, just as he did, see what I need to do in order to change my life. The struggle must be embraced because experience teaches man. Man must become strong from those things that he has encountered in life and to not allow those things to cause him to continue to be weak. We must get up. To conclude the show, I will leave you with something to consider. How shall a strong house be built upon a weak foundation? That's something to think about. The wake-up call. The wake-up call. This is the wake-up call. This is the new movement. The wake-up call. It's time to get up. It's time to, the heart of man is sharpen the heart of man, and spirit is sharpen spirit. None of us are perfect. We still will continue to make mistakes, even on a day-to-day basis. But the object is to acknowledge that you made a mistake, to identify what that mistake was, and to do what is necessary so that you no longer make that same mistake. Wake up call. Thanks for viewing my show. And one further thing, you could reach me at Renewed in Christ 2018 at gmail.com. I'm new to the YouTube scene, so whatever information that is helpful, feel free to send it to me. Thanks.